Hi there, welcome back to 52 Weeks of Vlogging. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means? It's popcorn and coffee time. Today we're talking about a picture book classic that was turned into a movie a year or two ago, directed by Spike Jonze, produced by Tom Hanks among a bunch of other people, Where the Wild Things Are, originally written by Maurice Sendak. And this movie was interesting. It was actually a very dark take on the story Where the Wild Things Are. If you remember the original picture book, Max is in a wolf suit and dressed as a wild thing and pretty much behaving like a wild thing until his mother finally gets so fed up she sends him to his room without supper, where he falls asleep, imagines that he's sailed away to a magical land where wild things are. The wild things make him a king and they have a wild rumpus, but eventually Max just misses home and realizes that he needs his mom, sails back, wakes up, and finds that dinner is still hot and it's waiting for him. It's a story about what it feels like to be a kid busting out of his skin and feeling like you're about to go crazy, but it's also a story about the enduring love that a parent has for their child. And it's a story about safety and home and comfort and how important those things are for children. The movie takes it to a completely different place, set in the modern world, and with Max cast as someone a little older than Max actually is. We're given a broken home, dad's not around, big sister's hanging out with her teenage buddies, mom has a new boyfriend, and there's a lot of angst surrounding everything. Max, predictably, has trouble dealing with all the uncertainty in his life, but in my opinion, he has a little bit too much trouble dealing with all the uncertainty in his life. I think if he had been 6 years old, his behavior in the film might have been acceptable and believable, but given that he's cast as a 10 to 12-year-old, I'm not buying it. And really, all I can think of, if his mother were that great, she would have taken him to see a doctor by now, or at least gotten him into some kind of therapy, or at least gotten some kind of counseling herself on how to control her son better and teach him how to control his own behavior better. She would be asking questions about what's bothering him and what she can do to help, as opposed to just telling him to shut up and eat the frozen corn anyway. Once Max makes it to the land of the wild things, things pick up a little bit and become a little bit more believable and understandable. Except that the film, I feel, is about 40 minutes longer than it really needs to be. Padded out with a number of scenes of people building and constructing and running and shouting and hollering and carrying on as the wild things that they are, which really, again, Max is just a little too old for that kind of stuff. There's the additional element of the fact that instead of being sent to his room, Max breaks free from his mother's grasp, leaves the house, and goes tearing through the neighborhood screaming and howling. Finds himself in a park where he dreams up the land of the wild things. Apart from what I've already said about Max's overreactions bordering on need of psychiatric help, I really feel that his behavior is just not realistic or believable. Teenagers run out the door screaming through the neighborhood. Younger kids, not so much. And on top of that, when Max finally does make his way back home at the end of the film, his mom rewards him with chocolate cake. Let me send a message out to parents and parents-to-be everywhere. If you send your kid to his room without supper and then later give him supper and talk about what happened, that's one thing. But if you're trying to send your kid to his room without supper and instead he runs away, when he comes back, chocolate cake might just not be the right way to go. I feel that this is a film made by and for people who felt hard done by in their own childhood and feel like maybe they can make up for it somehow by creating this extremely unrealistic and inappropriate portrayal of what it's like to be an angst-ridden 9 or 10-year-old and an angst-ridden mother trying to rebuild her life. Despite incredible puppeteering and wonderful effects, Where the Wild Things Are as a film, as a storytelling experience, as a reflection of the original book, is a miss. At least I can still enjoy my popcorn. Thanks for watching Popcorn and Coffee. If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, you can subscribe at youtube.com/user/ISHTA'Vlogs. And in the meantime, I'll see you tomorrow.